I wouldn't say this is a unique combo or one that, in fact, it's existed for quite a long time. It's just that I decided to take some good ideas, mash them up together, and that's the deck that you get. This is Eliza's Toybox Blue Sun deck that relies on free resing curtain walls and Orions to generate insane amounts of cash. It's basically a melange that hits for 14 or 15 credits instead of 7. Coupled with mid-seasons, I should be able to guarantee a win through either flatlining or just flat out scoring agendas behind thick servers. And by thick, I mean double curtain wall. You are so rich that you can actually afford to res double curtain wall on a single server. So that's my deck. Looking at my opening hand, this is probably worth a keep. You only have one agenda. A hedge fund gets you going early, and a single Lotus Field allows you to protect one server of your choice. The best thing about playing this in Blue Sun as opposed to, say, basically any other ID is that you don't have to worry about Lotus Field being placed on the central to protect it. If you want to use the Lotus Field for scoring as an end run that forces a high strength code gate, you can always bounce the Lotus Field to your remote when you're ready for it. And that is a fantastic aspect of it. So let's get on down to the game. I'm playing up against Andromeda. This could be a tough matchup. This is not really a deck that I wouldn't say is very good against Criminal, but we'll have to see. So I do draw into quite a few agendas. I'm trying to draw as many cards as I can because I really want to see the first Oversight AI. Now, I placed one curtain wall on Archives because I want to deter Dirty Laundry runs. Although, seeing that he did not play Dirty Laundry first turn, I should suspect that he has not that many events. He's playing a resource-based ND. So this could spell trouble for me. Yeah. Alright. So I begin getting a remote going. Now, Private Security Force and NAPD contract are definitely not the best agendas. You really want to score either Cleaners or an Overscored Atlas. Overscored Atlas allows you to tutor the mid-seasons, which is pretty huge. You have one mid-seasons in your deck, so you really need that token. Alternatively, Cleaners allows you to score mid-season Scotch through a plus crit, which you have to worry about because he does have plus crit on the supplier. Here I Jackson draw and I dump all the agendas because I really don't want to see them. Now I do draw into an Oversight AI with my last Jackson draw, so I think things can get rolling pretty quickly from this point on, as long as he doesn't run David. He does try to face check HQ, and I show him the Lotus Field. This is to prevent any siphons. You have to suspect that he's running siphon even though there are so many resources. As the game continues, it's my turn. I draw doubles Oversight AI. Now, in most games, you do not play double Oversight. You play them in succession, one turn after another. The reason you do not play them twice in the same turn, twice in the same turn, is because it'll take you 2 entire turns to bounce both curtain walls back. This gives him a lot of time to react to this. The only situation where you want to double Oversight is when you know they can get through. They can easily break through your curtain wall, and you want to ensure that you get at least one bounce. So in this case, I'm pretty sure he's not going to get any bounces, but he does immediately install a Corroder, so I'm a little worried about that. In the meantime, I do sack the boot camp and get Liza's toolbox out because I want to definitely start messing around with Toybox. So I sack Jackson and Toybox goes in the remote. I'm pretty sure he will contest the curtain wall and destroy it. That is fine. It's on Archives, no harm done. I have 2 more curtain walls and they are all ready to be res with Eliza's Toybox. So here obviously he needs to run against Toybox, and this is where I show him the second Lotus Field, keeping him up. He runs R&D, of course I let him through, and for real, double Atlas. Wow. The only good thing is that because he did not contest my curtain wall, I get a free res from Toybox and 14 extra credits from bouncing down 1 on Archives. And this makes it even harder for him to get in now because he did not get his Zuki Master out in time. He wasn't able to contest my Toybox server, and another free res. That's 14 more credits. So having lots of credits and being flooded with money is all well and good, but you need the mid-seasons. And he stole 4 agenda points worth of agendas already. And I don't have the mid-season, so I'm in a lot of trouble right now. Alright, so since I've read everything I can with Toybox, I need to now spend 1 turn setting everything up. He did see the mid-seasons. So this is the recovery turn, where you install 3 fresh new big eyes, Hadrian, Curtain, and wait for the fireworks to happen. I'll basically free res everything, turn after turn after turn, basically generating free credits using Toybox. So this is the ideal situation. He's too busy spending time setting up his resource rig, which allows me to basically amass a crazy amount of res ice on the board. Last click, he runs HQ. It's a normal run, so I let him through, knowing that he cannot win the game, that there isn't even an agenda in hand. He's just wasting his money pumping up Zoo. Next to res is Hadrian's Wall. I'm not really concerned with resing the HQ ice because there's nothing that I'm worried about in HQ. Meanwhile, he continues tapping Kelly Jones. I need to be a bit conscious about this. He has 10 credits in his pool and 12 on Kelly Jones and a lot of drip economy going, so that's pretty scary. I know that I'm probably not going to get the mid-seasons off. There are 2 3-pointers in my deck, both cleaners. A single lucky R&D run can easily win him the game. So that is something I'm very, very conscious about, and it's a huge problem that I need to deal with. At this point, I'm actually happy to see an agenda. No, I cannot score agendas at this point because he easily has enough money to run my remote. What I need to do is to wait for him to make a Hail Mary run on R&D, burn all his credits. That will open a scoring window for me. But there's no point talking about scoring windows now because I don't have any credits with me. I mean, no agendas with me. Here he plays a Count Siphon to my horror, but Curtain Wall happily keeps him out. It's just not worth it for him to pay upwards of 15 credits to deny me 5 credits at this point. Alright, so I do replace the Curtain Wall with a Merumah Tea, and I attempt to bait him into my scoring remote, feigning that that's a 3rd copy of the Atlas. He doesn't bite, he goes for R&D instead, which is obviously the safer route. It cost him 18 credits, which I'm more than happy to see, but less than happy is the fact that he stole the 3rd and final Atlas from my deck. Goodness gracious me. The best agenda in my deck is all gone. But that's actually good news, because it's not the cleaners, he hasn't won the game, and he has triggered mid-season's condition. So I'm just going to flood him with tags. Him being on 6 credits, he's in a lot of trouble. He should have unloaded KT before running R&D. He knows that I'm running mid-season, so this is a huge mistake. And I'm just going to play the War of Attrition here, because I know how powerful data folding and Underworld Context can get. 18 credits is all he needs to run on R&D and potentially win the game outright. I need to prevent him from getting that amount of money. So I'm just going to oversight a Curtain Wall on R&D, followed by bombing away all his resources. Now, oversight on R&D does something pretty subtle. If he does not contest this Curtain Wall, I'll bounce it back. I'm now rich enough to continue stacking Curtain Walls. If he does contest it just now, which he did not, he wouldn't be able to get through R&D. So he basically just burned 11 credits, which is a win for me. Now here I'm contemplating scoring the Fiber Security Force. If I score it, it pretty much assures me the game. For obvious reasons, he is tag flooded. There's no way he's getting rid of 19 tags. So I continue playing the Wall of Attrition while icing up my remote, ensuring that he cannot get in. But he does blow all his credits, making an R&D run. I hope he does not find any agendas. Yes, I am safe. Okay, this is good. Things can get really fun from here on out. The bootcamp is hogging the server, so I need to get something done with it. In this case, I'm going to res the Caduceus. I'm fine resing it because now there's no way he's getting in this remote, being only on 6 credits at the start of his turn. So I can safely advance it, knowing that full well he will never get in with the Toybox on the remote. I scored a PSF, and now this really threatens him into making a Hail Mary run on R&D. If he does not fetch an agenda, he loses the game. But I also have to be conscious, I cannot be pinging him for 3 meat damage a turn because he has plus crit, and more importantly, R&D is in trouble. He does have 16 credits with him, 18 credits to break through R&D. I need to prevent that from happening, so a third ice goes on R&D. This should hopefully slow him down enough so that I can security fit force him down. Alright, he does run my HQ and I show him a Merumati. This is very costly a run. This basically prevents him from getting through R&D from now for the next 2 turns. I draw into my second Scorch Turf and that's game. With only 7 hit points, he's not going to make it. This is definitely one of those games that leaves me with an unsavory taste in my mouth even though I won. The reason being that I needed a very specific sequence of events to happen in order to win that are completely out of my control, and it just so happened that I got lucky. I needed the runner to fetch a 2-pointer for me so I can activate mid-seasons, which did happen. I needed him to run R&D so that he would have no credit so I can create a scoring window for scoring Private Security Force, which I did. And I needed to draw the double Scorch Turf to ensure the victory before he found the money to do another R&D deck, which again I did. It shouldn't have been that close. This deck is meant to completely crush and lock out the runner by raising big eyes such that they cannot run. But it's too easy nowadays for runners to make huge amounts of credits and just dump everything on R&D. And that goes back to the problem of not having any innate counter to R&D interface. So this is why upgrades are so important nowadays. That's why Ash and Caprice are basically the best cards in the game right now. So this deck is just too slow to work. Even if you get lots and lots of reses with Liza's Toybox, it doesn't help you achieve your goal of getting 7 agenda points or flatlining the runner fast enough. It might change if you do manage to rush out an early Cleaners or Atlas because that makes your life much easier, but otherwise the standard Bootcamp Glacier with Adonis and Ash is much better than trying out the best of both worlds idea with Toybox and mid-seasons, because Jack of all trades, master of none. You can't do anything particularly well and the runner can exploit that, just as this opponent almost managed to this game. Thanks for watching, happy net running, goodbye.